Hello everyone and welcome to a Transformers Dark of the Moon movie Voyager Megatron review. This time around, Megatron has donned an Earth alt form, as much as he hates it, but personally, I love it, because no more is he a Cybertronian jet or a Cybertronian tank that flies. This time around, he is a Mack truck. As shown on the back of the box here, he is a licensed product with Mack, with the bulldog and the logo there. Very nice. He also has the Mack truck name on the front of his grill, which is another giveaway. And of course he's got the Mack truck bulldog hood ornament. I know it doesn't look like a bulldog, but it's tiny. Use your imagination. Nice little vehicle mode. He's got a little window here that sticks out more than the passenger side one, but that's probably because these windows pop out in the real vehicles to add more airflow if the driver likes that sort of thing. I've seen something like that, I think, if I remember right, that they do that. I'm not sure if all the vehicles do that, but I think Mack is the one that does, so they did a nice job with that. It's also got some nice wear right here and right there over where my thumb was, and the same thing on this side. It's got a little bit of wear there and wear there. I don't know if it's rust or stains, who knows, but he's been around. He's had better days, basically. He's got a MechTech port right there. He's got a MechTech port right there. He's got another one right there, and he's got another one right there. So you can plug some weapons on him, make him into a road warrior. Another nice feature this vehicle has is the tarp is removable. It just sits there on top of the tank. We'll remove that for now. I like the way it looks personally. But he also has the ability to turn, which you see right here. You can make a left turn, you can make a reluctant right turn. So, looks pretty good. Make him look like he's spotted you and he's turning toward you to get you. Oh no, not again. Anyhow, very nice vehicle. I like it. Maybe a little bit on the small side, but it's still a very nice figure. Very well done. I think in real life, the cab on this Mack truck is a little bit smaller than the Optimus Prime cab. Not by much, but enough to, you'll see a little bit of a difference. But he makes up for it with the trailer. So Megatron is still very much a big boy. A Mack daddy. Yeah, I went there. Here is the Dark of the Moon Voyager Megatron next to the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Megatron. I think the Dark of the Moon's alt mode is much better in comparison. Now for transformation, you're going to want to start with taking off this soft little tarp thingy, which has some nice molded detailing, by the way, of some broken straps here, and it's all torn up at the end there, and of course holes. Gotta have the holes. And you take off the MechTech weapon, which is right here, and it's not bad. You just push on the ladder here, and these things extend out, and you can turn the ladder to the right, and it locks it into place. So you have a bigger weapon. Doesn't look too bad. I like it. And to release it, you just turn it back and it closes shut. Personally, I'd rather have the gimmick on the weapon than on the robot itself. I think these figures prove that when you don't have large amounts of stuff inside of them, you get nicer transformations, and this is definitely one of them. So you start by pulling the arms down. These will be the arms and hands. You do that on both sides. And that's what it looks like underneath, by the way, in case you were wondering. And you just stick your fingers in there and pull apart what will be his legs. And you're going to pull that back, pull this side back, pull the back part up like that. And what you want to do is these legs are going to extend downward. So you're going to pull them out and down. pull them out and down. And you're going to flip that over to this side and it'll snap in place. And you can rotate the waist around, get it over with. Push these in an angle like that. This pushes in at an angle as well, like that. This part here, you're going to rotate at the knee. Do the same thing on this side. Rotate at the knee, 180. Then you're going to take these tanks here. You're going to pull where the wheels are away. You take the tank and push it down and forward like that, and take the foot and move it all the way over. Do the same thing on this side. Bend that away, move that down, and you're going to move the foot all the way up, and you're going to clip these into place. Mine's going to give me a hard time. There it goes. You do the same thing on the other side. Now when you do that, you want to push this back like that. That way it will make contact with the part that it's supposed to attach to. And it'll snap in place. Not very loudly, but it'll stay in place and it's pretty tight. Enough to hold it. So here we are with the upper part of Megatron here. As you can see, his arms are extended forward or down if you consider this being the cab, and that's the downward part. And what you want to do is this part, for me, this figure is very tight, so it doesn't like to really move there. You take this cab part and pull it back just to get it out of the way. And you want to be careful here not to rip off the hood ornament with the grill bits here. And that's very easy to do, easier than it should be, I think. But you're going to want to loosen these up a bit. And what I do is I usually pull this down a little bit, and that frees up this, which I will pull up. Now see what I did there? The gray pieces are off. They're no longer flush with the hood. So that gives clearance for the hood ornament, and it also gets the stuff out of the way. And you're going to want to separate these as best you can, and just pull them out of the way gently. And then you're going to split the hood apart down the middle there, and that's the part that gives me the most trouble. There we go, there's one side. Some gentle, well, persuasive wiggling, I should say, helps a great deal. And there's the other. And then for this to come down properly, the head needs to come up. So bring the head up. It frees up a flap that gets in the way usually. This just sits there flush on his back. It doesn't really snap into anything, but it stays there. Brings this down, accordion it together, and snap it to his chest. Bring these parts away and up in an angle to give him his unique Megatron look. Take his arm at the shoulder. Well, first you want to get these out of the way. So again, be careful of that little hood ornament. It takes a little finagling, but just get it over and under and blah blah blah. And there you have one side, and do the same with the other. Just turn it around, bring it up and over, and there you have the other. That's how they look like generally. And then you can turn this part around like that, where the wheel is to his side, not to the back of his arm. And that way, Bend the elbow, bring out the hand, his creepy fingers. You're pretty much finished. You've got yourself a Voyager class Megatron, ready to destroy Optimus Prime and whoever else that gets in his way. Let's look at his face here that's Prime rearranged in the last movie. Oh man, does that look mangled or what? Yikes. Megatron has seen better days, indeed he has. I'd be bitter about that too, honestly. That's not good. He's really got nailed there. Oh my god. I'm watching you. Yeah, I bet. And you do have the thing here, which we saw earlier, and what you do with this is it's got this extra little piece here that forms his hood, and that just unfurls out. It's attached to a little rubbery peg there. And some people don't like this, but I think it adds more character to the guy. It makes him look more creepy. It makes him look more menacing. It makes him look more angry in some ways. And it does peg in there on the side, but I don't bother because it's such a tight fit. No jokes there, but seriously, it's you don't even need to peg it in there. It lays over his head pretty well. He's pretty good with keeping it on there, and part of it sticks out from the side here to make room for that cattle grill thing that he's got going on, and there he is. I like it. I know I've said that, but I do. This thing, of course, you can have it on his arm like this, or you can extend it out. You can also put it on his back if you so choose. Personally, Megatron just isn't Megatron without his fusion cannon. So, I'm extending it, closing it, and tabbing it. And like I showed you earlier, each side of the arm has a hole. And in this case, there it is right there. And we're just going to plug him right on in. There we go. And there he is with his fusion cannon. And if you so choose, you don't have to display him with this cape thing on him. I know it gets in the way of articulation, but I think it looks really good. Of course, he looks good like this as well. And there they are together. Now, I have to admit, I really do like the Revenge of the Fallen Voyager Megatron, but Dark of the Moon Megatron is the Voyager Megatron to have, really. At least so far he is. As far as articulation goes, it really is pretty good. He is rather limited at the shoulders in terms of going out. He can go out about that far because he is, I don't know, it just sort of catches on to, well, maybe not that far. It doesn't go any further than that. He has an interesting pivot, not at the elbow, but at just below the shoulder right here, where it can go in and out. Bends at the elbow, but it bends actually in two places. It bends at the elbow itself, and then right where the wheel is. So it has another bendy joint, so he can he has some interesting articulation there. Of course, it bends at the wrist because of the transformation. Come here so I can shoot you. His head can look up, down, and he's on a ball joint, so he can look all the way around. Let's get this off of him because it's getting in the way. He has pretty good waist articulation because of transformation. He can go all the way around, 360. His legs, pretty good. Can only go about that far forward, but that's alright, I don't care. It goes about that far back, so he can gallop around, dilly-dally all he likes. He can do the splits pretty decently, so you can get him to some wide stances. Bends at the knee, rotates at the knee. Doesn't have a foot pivot, it's all locked in here pretty tightly, so there's no ankle movement of any kind, but you can still get him to some nice poses. I think he's one of the nicest Voyagers in the Dark of the Moon line so far. I would be very surprised if you didn't like this one. It seems like a lot of these figures have been shrunken down a little bit. I don't see a degradation in quality. I don't see a degradation in articulation. In fact, I like the transformations better in the Dark of the Moon movie toys than I do in either of the previous movie toys. So that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.